Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Simone Biles reacts as Coco Gauff drops update with boyfriend after US Open loss. Before the US Open, all eyes were on Coco Gauff, who was spearheading America's challenge in the women's singles. However, it wasn't meant to be for her as Gauff suffered defeat at the hands of Naomi Osaka in the round of 16. Despite being a strong favorite going into that match, Gauff was completely outplayed by a resurgent Osaka. Following her exit, Gauff needed some time off the court to rejuvenate for the remainder of the season. And what better than to spend some quality time with her boyfriend, Jalen Sarah, as she shared some dreamy pictures of her outing with Sarah. The likes of Simone Biles and fellow American tennis stars heaped praise in the comment section. Hours ago, Gauff took to her official Instagram handle and shared glimpses of her outing with her boyfriend and other friends. The American sensation had a wonderful tour of New York City and truly enjoyed her time off after a hectic few weeks on the court. While in one picture, Gauff can be seen staring at an artistic painting, in the other, she struck a pose with her boyfriend. "I want to play tag on a big playground with 8 people," Gauff wrote in the caption of the post. With a massive following on social media, the likes of Simone Biles and others gushed over Gauff's dreamy pictures. Looks like Biles was suffering a bit of FOMO as she commented, "Count me in." As Gauff stood staring at a painting, American star Riley Opelka instantly recollected whose painting it was, as he wrote, Albert Ehlen. Ehlen is a renowned German painter, known for his abstract creations. Additionally, Anna Mitchell, who is Chris Eubank's girlfriend and good friends with Gauff, also joined in the comment section, writing, "Love E." While it was a much-needed break for Gauff, who has been playing nonstop tennis, the American sensation will have her task cut out in the upcoming Asian swing, as she looks to make a strong comeback. While Gauff suffered a shock loss at the US Open, she slammed her critics, who called her out for her dressing choices. Coco Gauff fires back at her critics. Soon after her defeat to Osaka at the US Open, Gauff was slammed for focusing on her outfits more than her game. It was a lame reason to call out a player who has achieved so much at such a young age. Even Gauff didn't take the criticism lightly and slammed her haters, admitting that she wasn't a machine, but a human who could make mistakes sometimes. She said, "I don't know why it's such a big deal what women choose to do with their on-court or off-court looks. I'm a human. Tennis is what I do, but it's not who I am. And I like to express my way just like any other person likes to express themselves. For me, that's just showing up on court being the best version of myself. But I definitely think if women want to do that, they should be celebrated and not persecuted for it." However, this is a part and parcel of achieving fandom all across the globe. After a mini break, Gauff has a packed schedule, which includes tournaments like the China Open, Wuhan Open, Japan Open, and the Pan-Pacific Open. It'll be interesting to see if Gauff can make a strong comeback later this month. When defeat meets renewal, Simone Biles witnesses Coco Gauff's quiet strength. It was one of those nights in New York that seemed soaked in sweat, expectation, and something electric, the kind that buzzes around Flushing Meadows during the US Open. For Coco Gauff, the court was more than asphalt and lines. It was pressure, spotlight, history, her own history, wrapped in the hopes of many. She walked off that court defeated. The scoreboard read loss. But her soul, somehow, still felt full. The loss. Loss is a familiar companion. It lurks in the flubbed ace, the double fault, the opponent's brilliant stroke. Coco felt it, in her shoulders when the serve slipped, in the eyes of the crowd when momentum creeped away. It's in how sound seems louder, silence heavier, and how the echo of "what if" appears in every empty corner of the night. Yet defeat is also an invitation to heal, to rebuild, to emerge. And Coco knows this better than most. She understands that every tennis match is not just about points won or lost, but about how you come back into your own afterwards. The update. A few days after the matches ended, after the post-game pressers and headlines, Coco posted, "Not about tennis, not about strategy." She posted with her boyfriend, with friends, with laughter. A gallery of moments, evening lights, quiet smiles, hands intertwined, shared glances. A caption that said, "Not with grandiose words, but simply that life goes on, that love exists still, that heartbreak is real, but so is joy. It was a respite and a statement. The update rippled. Some praised, others whispered. In that gap between Clairefontaine quiet and Madison Square rumble, Coco's post was her way of exhaling. Simone Biles sees. Simone Biles, in her own orbit of greatness, understood. She watched. Perhaps she saw the post as more than social media, a soft armor, a reminder that we are not merely our losses. She felt, perhaps, the weight of public expectation, the fear that when you fail, the world reduces you to your failure. Simone's own path has known humiliation, mistakes, mental struggle. The beam isn't always steady, the spotlight not always warm. There are nights when the body obeys, but the spirit trembles. In seeing Coco lift herself after defeat, choosing life, love, softness, Simone may have felt kinship. So when Coco posted those images, Simone reacted. Not in criticism, not in detachment, but in solidarity. A count me in, or an emoji, a comment that said, I see you. A gesture that recognized Coco's courage in choosing renewal after disappointment. The unseen dialogues. We often forget that athletes are human, that their social media isn't mere marketing, but part of their emotional narrative. A photograph of a walk with someone who cares, a sunset seen through someone else's eyes. These are not distractions from the sport. They are part of the healing. Simone, knowing this deep down, probably felt several quiet dialogues. To Coco, you're more than this match, more than the result. Your heart still beats, your joy still lights up. To herself, I too have had nights where the lights were too bright, the expectations too heavy. But these moments off court, these connections, they hold us together. To the fans and the world, don't reduce her to a loss. See her beyond the outcome. The tapestry of strength, defeat and love, loss and joy. These threads weave a tapestry richer than any trophy. Coco didn't just lose a match. She reclaimed something perhaps lost in the glare. Belonging, intimacy, her personhood. Her update with her boyfriend wasn't an escape, but a tether back to authenticity. Simone's reaction, in joining the comments, in witnessing, becomes part of that tapestry. Two women at the top of their crafts, who know what pressure feels like, choosing to affirm that the self persists. That vulnerability is not weakness. What it teaches, for us watching, it teaches something deeply human. That after failure, the bravest thing can be to be seen, not as broken, but as whole. That love, friendship, companionship, they don't erase loss, but they soften it, illuminate it, remind us that we are more than our public selves. That greatness isn't always in victory. Sometimes it's in recovery. In the quiet hours after a loss, one can lie awake, heart pounding, replaying every misstep. Coco did, but she also breathed, shared, smiled. She posted. And Simone, champion of bar shapes and balance beams, saw it and honored it. Because in that moment, defeat didn't define Coco. Life did. And that matters far more.